Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our Summer Game Fest 2025 coverage. In this video, Damiani got a very hard to pronounce name of a game. It is either Infinitesimals. What do they say? Did you catch it?
I feel like the first way you pronounced it is how they said it.
Infinitesimals?
That's the actual word.
Yeah, or infinitesimals. Infinitesimals might be.
Anyways,
yeah.
You're fighting like some Avatar war as a grasshopper man in a backyard.
Honey, I Shrunk the Avatar is a great sell.
The Avatar, but
really
as you'll
good.
see, it's easy to forget that premise of this game, that you're like tiny bugs fighting in a giant like Earth-like environment.
Earth-like.
Because the structures you go in look normal, but you step outside and it's like giant blades of grass. So like it's got that, it's got that going for it. So to back up for a second, this is from Epic Game Publishing and a studio called Qubit. It's coming to a lot of platforms: PlayStation, Xbox, Epic Game Store, obviously, and it's coming out next year, 2026. Some premise for this: so you are part of an elite squadron that's going out to this planet to rendezvous with a colony, and you crash there. You survive, and you make your way over to the colony, and you find it abandoned. It's supposed to have all these, your bug friends there and stuff. There's like nobody there. So like, what's going on? And you find out there's these mechanical things, these mechanical hunters that are coming after all of you, hunting you. Yeah, sentinels. Hunt them and just find them and destroy them, basically. But like, as you see in the trailer, like, there's these mechanical things you're fighting, but there's also like the wildlife.
Yeah.
But wildlife in this game is neutral. They're just going about their business.
Okay.
Third-party wildlife.
One of the first things you come across is just like a fire ant, and like if you get too close to it and like encroach on its territory, you aggro it. It will defend its territory, so it gets hostile. But if you like take a different route around it, it will just like ignore you, and they'll go about your business.
Is it open world or open environment?
So it is like open environment from what I could tell from that. And so like they had a lot of different paths, but they were like definitely like telling me go this way, go that way, like in the interest of time, because they were like you can go all the way over here and get lost, but like we would want you to see some of the objectives. So they kind of like chirping me a bit to go the way they wanted me to go, or they wanted me to go. And like they did say there will be some indigenous life that's like just kind of like gonna get in your way, and you might not have any choice other than to kind of fight them.
That's
maybe
intense.
But like you're not there. Your mission is not there to fight wildlife. Quick note, that's also the message of Xenoblade X, which is also a big thing about their creatures there. Like you're not there just to wipe them out. But that's kind of cool.
It is not the premise of Pikmin, though.
So
wipe out everything in Pikmin.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like the concept of this tiny bugs in a massive world. Like think Pikmin, or think like Grounded, but like in reverse, where like you're not a human, you're the bugs, and so you kind of get like that vibe. But like it plays like a typical like third-person shooter. Obviously, you got like a handgun, you got a submachine gun, you got grenades, and then like you have like your hands and items that you can use, and it's all controlled through the D-pad swapping to go through all that. You can also so the machines that you come across, there are like a few different types that I came across. There were like these. I came across like your base that you were expecting to be running with your friends, and inside there are like these mechanical turrets set up. And also there are these things that are like that come at you. They're like mechanical, like they look like giant eye devices, like on a tripod type thing that like kind of like move around, kind of
Minority
creepy.
Report.
Yeah, and like they flip over and you shoot them, like fall over, but they get back up. But like you can tell like their eyes are like their weak spots. You kind of aim for them. But another ability you have besides like just your offensive tools, and you have you have a double jump with a jetpack that lets you glide and slowly fall. So like they said you could jump for like verticality. You could like I was on this huge cliff looking down. And you can just jump down, just time your jetpack at the right time. You'll softly touch down.
Nice.
I was like very very nice.
I see some boost sliding in this too. Kind of a little bit of Vanquish going on.
Yeah, like I got a little bit of that vibes. Now I didn't get to fight anything that like aggressive. I did get to fight some cool things near the end, but before that, you have these two types of like sonars that you have. One of them, let me get this. So one can like scan for like things that send out like like signals, like wavelength signals, so you can see like the origin of things that are like emitting signals. Some like show up as like neutral, some if you identify as hostile look like red, so you can like see like maybe like there's an enemy that's sending out like a broadcasting a signal, and then you can like see electric currents. Now they alluded to, so like when they scan the compound, like now you see all this like these currents going through, and they're like they alluded to there might be a hacking system or a thing you can do later on. It was not available in the demo, although there was an opportunity to use stealth to instead of directly going against a turret. I could have snuck around a different way and hit a switch to turn it off.
Oh, okay.
So there are different approaches like that as well.
That
so it's like,
pleases me.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Are there stealth takedowns?
I didn't really have any like prompts or anything like that. The most I don't know, grueling encounter was at the end. I came out of the base. I had to do a series of objectives, got a little bit of the story about like who I needed to find, help. This character, like I found this character, rescued them. They like hop on your back. They can't fight, so you're kind of like escorting them through the compound. It's kind of like cool, and you got a little bit like banter going on. You have someone on the radio who's talking to you, kind of like guiding you as well. Cool. Like you're kind of like their commanding officer, so they're trying to help you out. Yeah. And then you come out of the compound and these enemies is like these mechanical hunters are just like waiting to like they roll up on you, and it looks like a bunch of like crates, like a docks type fight, but it's not a dock, but like it looks like shipping crates all over the place, and they roll out, and they're like 5 or 6 of them, and you have to fight them at once. So like you're taking cover, you're dashing, you're like using the jetpack,
like snap into
so
cover?
It wasn't anything like that, but I did hug walls and like and like you'll see like it will like give you like a little bit of like a red like targeting thing that says like they're like they can see you, they can fire at you, but like when you're undercover, it felt like I wasn't, you were safe. But yeah, it was popping up, and like it felt like very generous with the aiming. I'll be honest, like it felt like I could easily. I was doing well, and I'm like usually not good at like shooters right away. And like, oh yeah, you're taking them out pretty nicely. I was like, I wonder if the AI was set a little. But I'll say this, like, while it looks very nice, obviously, it did seem a little bit like early on.
Sure, yeah, I mean, it's coming next year.
Yeah,
so.
like there's a lot of like elements. I'm not saying visual elements, but like it feels like there's more. There's the thing that was on your back, by the way. It felt like there was like a little bit more maybe to the gameplay that isn't implemented just yet. So I do think there's going to be like a little bit more, especially just in like the objectives that are popping up. Yeah. And then just like you said, you didn't get to fight the boss. The boss.
Right.
Sorry.
I'm talking about it.
Okay. Sorry. I forgot when this is going up. I forgot to say that. In a boss in a different game, they cut me off. There was a cut scene right as this giant like mechanical tank comes over to like the hill, the horizon.
Jeez.
And it's like
these two are both going up at the same time.
Okay.
So you're good.
Good. Okay, cool. I was like, what is this menace? Like it looked way more elaborate than anything I had seen. Yeah. But yeah, the one thing I wish I could have done was gotten to explore the environment a little bit more.
Yeah, it looks
because
awesome
you see just from the reveal trailer, there's just a lot of cool different, flora and fauna to interact with.
Climbing the bushes or whatever, and I like just that alone seems like it'd be really cool.
And they talk about these drill things that fall from the sky that they're going to play an important role. But
trying to get the unobtainium.
We'll see.
Sure.
Something about like getting into like subterranean parts. Because they said there's some underground subterranean parts, but it wasn't in there. And also, like, there's one thing you saw. I think it's the tentacle-looking vehicle. You do have like a vehicle that you're going to be able to use. So
that says to me that these spaces are pretty big.
Yeah, they like Hubert. It was huge.
Wow.
So it was a really big environment.
This game has so much going for it for me. Like I love all you can really do if it's a new IP is like, okay, what do I see that I like? And it's like, I like a lot of what I'm seeing here, Damiani. I like being shrunk down. I like the Avatar style aesthetic. The shooting, like dashing around, looks really fun.
Yeah, I'm just like
the third-party creatures, like a friggin' beetle coming up.
So that's what I'm like. I'm excited for like the trailer shows so many cool shots that like you're clearly gonna come across as you explore, and like I want those moments like there's like a cool wreckage down here, and then like a giant creature, you disturb their environment, like they come out, and it's like oh god, like like what are those gonna be? You see a lot of climbing up these like plants and flowers, and like they're giant, but it's like like what the verticality. I only saw it from dropping down, but like how far is that going to extend the game? And it looks like it has a lot of that. And then visually, like it like good lighting, the good effects, and a lot of the stuff you see in the trailer. I didn't even get to like see some of those types of attacks, which is pretty cool. And like the voice work, the main character's voice was awesome. I really liked it. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they obviously had voice work. So
sick.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
2026.
Yeah.
Shaping up already.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Thank you, Damiani. Like we said, we've got other things that are going up right at the same time as this preview, so please go ahead and check out our Capcom coverage and coverage that we posted just recently from about 20 other games that we talked about on live stream last night, and another 21 or so a few days ago. Lots of stuff from SGF and more to come. So go to youtube.com/EasyAllies to check all of that out, and go to patreon.com/EasyAllies to support us, because we are funded by people just like you, and we will see you soon.